Do you live the life that you truly want, or are you stuck in a cycle of bad decisions or habits that are quietly destroying it? Most of us don't even realize the damage that we are actually doing to ourselves. Today I want to talk about 6 stupid things that we all, or at some point in our lives, or even currently do that keep us stuck and far away from the life that we truly want. Now understand, this is not about shaming anybody. It's about recognizing patterns so that we can finally take action and truly take over our lives and build the lives that we actually desire. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. The number one thing that most of us do on a regular basis that's destroying our lives is we compare ourselves to others. We see people that seem like they have it all together. Social media, coworkers, family. We see it everywhere that it seems like people have it better than us. But here's the truth. Comparing yourself to others it's like running somebody else's race and you'll never be able to win. Think about it. How often or how many times have you scrolled through Instagram and you've looked at somebody else's their highlight reels and thought to yourself, why do they have it so much better than me? Or why isn't my life like that? Why can't my life be like that? Maybe they've got the fancy car, they've got the fancy house, or they take those luxury vacations. They have the perfect marriage or relationship. But what you don't see is the reality that's behind the scenes. Because the truth is that most people, they don't care about your success or your material possessions. And they're often too busy to worrying about their own lives to worry about yours. You're wasting precious energy trying to measure up to people they're not even thinking about you. I mean, the only race that you're actually running is your own, so just stop getting distracted by the lanes that are right next to you. Number 2, we spend ourselves into poverty. We spend our money that we don't have trying to impress people who don't care, and even if they did care, we probably wouldn't even like them to begin with. So in turn, in our pursuit of external validation, we do nothing but drive ourselves into a deeper hole. Throughout my life, I used to go to the Imperial Sand Dunes. A lot of you guys may be familiar with a place called Glamis. And I spent the formidable years of my life going to Glamis regularly, or going to the Imperial County Sand Dunes, whether it's Buttercup, Gordon's Well, Gray's Well, Glamis. But I spent the majority of my formidable years there. And I remember I used to look around at all the people with their super high-end sand rails, $100,000 toy haulers, $100,000 sand rails, and a $100,000 truck to pull it with $50,000 in quads. And I remember thinking to myself, man, these people must be so rich. But the thing is it was everywhere. It wasn't just like 1 or 2 people. It wasn't just the one-off occasion. It was everywhere. It was almost like it was a fashion show. But going there as an adult, I realized one day, seeing all these toys out there, those people aren't rich. They're broke. I mean, all of those people out there, the majority of the people out there, the very, very large majority of the people out there, they're so deep in debt that they will never see the light of day. And that's the same trap that many of us fall into. We continuously buy things that we can't afford to maintain that illusion of success. So the result of that is we're drowning in debt and stressed and just chasing an illusion that doesn't even matter. In my opinion, the real flex is financial freedom and not a pile of bills that you can't even afford to pay. Number 3 is we run from our fears. We run away from things that we fear, and instead of facing those fears head on. We all have fears. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. All of us have fear. Everybody. But when we let it control us, we lose sight of the things that matter in our lives and the things that we truly want. I mean, there's a saying that you've probably heard, whether you think you can or you think you can't, either way you are right. Most people have heard it, a lot of people have said it, but they say it more in a fleeting part of a conversation, and they don't really think about the depth and why that is such a powerful saying. Because what it means, what it's actually saying is, if you believe you can, you will go out and you will find the courage to face whatever fears you have. You will find the courage to confront those limiting beliefs no matter what they are. But if you believe that you can't, You've already been defeated before you even started. And when you're defeated, you're going to ask yourself, what is the point in starting it? What is the point in doing whatever it is that I need to do? I already can't do it. So when you are already defeated, you're not going to see a point in taking action. So that inaction is going to turn into a spiral, and you will never realize that you actually could have. You actually could do it, but you didn't believe it because you were already defeated. You know, that fear, it tricks us into believing that we can't do it or that we cannot achieve something. So in turn, we just end up staying inside of our comfort zones. We end up settling for a life of complacency, and instead of pursuing the life of our dreams. Just don't let that fear rob you of your future. Number 3 is we live in the past. We are constantly sabotaging ourselves or self-sabotaging because we can't get out of living in the past. We replay those mistakes that we made over and over, never being able to forgive ourselves for the things that we have made that we may have done wrong, or we relive the glory days stuck in those memories, remembering who or what we used to be. Many of you guys, you might remember that TV show, Married with Children. Al Bundy, he was a shoe salesman who always lived in his glory days. And he lived in his glory days, and the show made a joke out of it. His 15 minutes of fame was 3 touchdowns in 1 game when he played high school football. But we can actually look at that and use it for an example. His character was stuck living in the past and refusing to invest in the future. He settled down, complacent, and he sold women's shoes for a living. Hello. But many of us do the exact same thing. We live in the past. We let the past define us, and instead of investing in the future and learning those lessons and using it to grow. Because life is happening right now, no matter how you look at it. And if you don't focus on the present, you will never be able to realize the life of your dreams, or you will never be able to build the future that you want. Number 5, we avoid responsibility and we blame other people. We destroy our lives by never taking accountability and constantly blaming our situation and our life, our problems on other people or external circumstances. It's easy to point your finger at your boss or your parents or society or the government, you name it. But here's the truth. You are the architect of your life. Your choices are why you are where you are right now. If your relationships suck, if your career isn't going anywhere, if you are broke, if you are unhappy, you need to look in the mirror. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. Complaining and blaming, that's not going to change anything, but action will. Number 6, we fail to take action. The final stupid thing that we do is inaction. We all have dreams. We all tell ourselves that we'll get to those dreams one day. Think about the people that have that car sitting up on blocks in the middle of a field that they're going to rebuild it and it's gonna be real nice one day. Instead of fixing it or instead of selling it, they just let it rot into the ground and turn to dust. And that happens because time is not infinite. Time is finite. And we're too busy wasting it away. We're too busy wasting it on dreams and not taking action on those dreams. We don't realize until we get older that the older you get, the faster time goes. All of those opportunities that you thought that they would always be there, someday, eventually, they begin to disappear. Understand that if you do not take action now, you may never get your chance. Waiting for the perfect time, it's nothing more than a trap. Waiting for those perfect scenarios, that perfect weather, the perfect situation, the perfect elements, there's no such thing. Start where you are with what you have and just take one small step towards your dreams. Because in my opinion, the only thing worse than failing is never doing anything at all. We all make mistakes, but the good news is we can all change as well, and it's never too late. Recognize these 6 destructive habits and just start taking action. Start doing something today that is going to allow you the opportunity to break free from them. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop spending money that you don't have. Stop running from fear and blaming others and living in the past. And most importantly, take action. Your life is in your hands. So what are you going to do with it? If you made it this far, do me a favor and go down in the comments section and write these words, good habits. Just those 2 words, good habits. The habits that we make, the habits that we use on autopilot every single day are what shapes our current life They are what shapes our future, and they are what actually defines us and our current situation. We need to get off our asses and start focusing on these good habits. We need to get rid of those bad habits, reprogram our minds, and break that bad habit of trying to control what you can't, trying to control other people and other people's actions, because all you're doing is just wasting your own energy. But I ask for these one-word comments because they do a couple of things. When we see these positive words, they help us reprogram our minds. When we see, experience, and do things over and over and over, that's how we are going to reprogram our subconscious mind. So these words are powerful. We need to understand the power in our words, and we need to wield them wisely. And then also the algorithms, they certainly enjoy it. Every time the algorithm sees an interaction, whether it's a comment, a like, or somebody subscribes, then it likes that and it appeases the algorithm. So it's going to be more likely to push this content out to more people who might be able to find value in it as well. So with that, I want to thank you guys for showing up. I want to thank you guys for all those super thanks that you're giving me. I truly am grateful for them. You guys make me feel blessed, and this is just as therapeutic for me as it is for a lot of you as well. And understand that I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. With that, I want to thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys are showing up for yourselves, and I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.